ready to go. Green flag racing as the field hits the gas pedal for the first time. Gavin Sanders into the corner. Well, looks like everybody up through the gears. No problem for anybody. No incident so far. Side-by-side racing action and caution. Caution comes out on lap number 1 out of turn number 2. We'll jump back, take a look, see what happened here very early. There you see, looks just like a tag there. Looks like maybe Oscar Gonzalez got involved with that. Field going to get ready to go back. Green flag racing, single file restart. Here's that Ford Mustang pace car. Gets ready to duck on off. We'll get ready to fire things back off. Here again for the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis. On the gas, away we go. Green flag flies as your race leader Gavin Sanders gets off to a good start. We'll jump a little further back through the field. Give you a little bit more of the action on track. There you can see multiple drivers already snaking their way back to the front of the field. Shane Coogan right there trying to close in on Dakota DiMaggio. Looks like we've got more drivers mixing it up back here through the field. Christopher Kresge with a little bit of a moment there. Victor Santos had to jump to pit road. Something wrong with Santos's Dallara IR18. And caution! Caution flag flies once again. Christian Alesio caught up in this one. We'll take a look. Forsyth involved. Christopher Kresge, Michael Jeffries involved in this one as well. There you see Forsyth just breaking loose. Oh, and nowhere to go. Here comes, I believe that was Christopher Kresge piloting there. Nowhere to go. No, that was actually not Kresge. Oh, Kresge caught up from behind. Michael Jeffries involved. Oh, my goodness. Back up with your race leader as he sets the pace on that outside lane. Get ready for him to hit the gas and hit the gas fast. Pace car ready to make that left-hand turn once again. Third time it's made it tonight. Third time that your race leader pounds the gas. Good jump, good gap already as he slots across the line. Your top 3 with a bit of a breakaway. Julian Altona right there. Fresh on the gas, fresh on the heels. Can he close in the distance on Isaac Morris? Battles have been going on at the back of the field. That's where a lot of this action has happened on these restarts. We'll take a look, keep our eye on things back here. Everything looks clean and clear. Drivers battling for spots, but no contacts being made. We'll look right here as this is a hot and heavy battle. That is for 8th and 9th position. Tyler Coogan passing Shane Coogan now just in front. Matt Houston making up some spots on Dakota DiMaggio right there. That's 5th and 6th on track. And it looks like John Christensen may have had a little bit of an incident, but he's got to pit road. That's going to keep us clear on the raceway, and we'll stay green flag racing here as we begin lap number 14 out of the 150 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Looks like fast time on the track belongs to your pole sitter, your race leader, Gavin Sanders, with a 23:35 for the fastest lap of tonight's race. We'll jump back with this battle here towards the front of the field. Close little gaps here, just a few tenths separate your top 3 drivers. Go ahead and throw Altona in that mix, just 3 tenths back from Morris. There's the battle box right there for you on screen. Sanders out to a 1.3 second race lead, and Morris looks to the inside of Gonzalez. Almost contact between those two drivers. Morris gonna back out just a little bit. Reset now, looks to the bottom once again. Nope, gonna fall in line through the center of 3 and 4. He'll have to use the slipstream down the front stretch. Not closing the gap though, as Gonzalez Nunez continues to lead or continue to keep that second spot lead. Morris back off of turn number 2, looking to strike once again. Not going to happen. Altona begins to close now as Houston starts to reel in Altona. There you go, looking to the inside once again is Morris down into turn number 1, side by side with Nunez. Nunez up the track, losing some ground, losing some time. Battle still going on. Drag race down the backstretch into turn number 3. Nunez into the wall. That's going to break his tire, or at least it looked like his tire was broke on the screen there for a second. Now looks like it's still attached, but some damage after some contact with that outside wall before his entry to turn number 3. That's going to go ahead and give that second spot to Isaac Morris as Julian Altena. Now he looks to pounce. He'll look to the bottom, going down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Going to have the spot. Oh, and contact between Altena and Gonzalez. Nunez brings out our latest caution. We seen it right there on screen, race fans. I tell you what, we'll go up high above with this caution flag. See how it all happened there. You see a little bit of net code. Gonzalez Nunez never actually touching Altena until Altena was already sideways. We'll take another look. There you see the contact. There you see that gap. There you see that space one more time. We'll see if we can't see it. There you see it once again. And that is a tough break for both of those drivers battling inside the top 5. And it looks like both of those drivers going to have to bring their machines to pit road for quite some time. We rejoin the track after one lap of green flag racing back in the books. Looks like Dakota DiMaggio going to lose a spot. We're going to take that spot away from Matt Houston. That's the 3rd and 4th spot. Battle for position right now between DiMaggio and Houston. Houston going to slot back in that 4th spot. Your pole sitter, race leader, Gavin Sanders continues to lead. Isaac Morris just off in front of these two drivers. There you can see Isaac Morris right there, just about 0.3 of a second off of your race leader. We'll move in a little closer to the action for you here tonight. Trying to watch as much as we can on the restarts. We do have some battles out there on track. Alex Van de Sant right here. Here's a close battle. Van de Sant looking to take a spot away from Houston. Thomas Gessler just behind him. Shane Coogan and Tyler Coogan still battling it out amongst themselves. 7th and 8th spot on the track as they run right now. Nick DeGroot rounds out your top 10, and he's got Luis Gonzalez Nunez's heavily damaged machine just behind him, running in the 11th spot. And as the field makes their way around the track on lap number 30, we'll do a little bit of house cleaning here tonight. Looks like 25 drivers started tonight's race, and we are down to 15 drivers left on the speedway. Just 13 drivers left on the lead lap. Tony Patty, big shout out to Patty right here, sitting in that 91 machine. Patty in the 13th spot. Started tail end of the field. Shotgun Sally here tonight. Patty also one of those special 6 drivers having to race his way even to get to race tonight. And he is capitalizing on his chance, capitalizing on his opportunity. Patty running 13th on the speedway. Back at the battle inside the top 5 from about 4th all the way back through 7th or 8th. Dakota DiMaggio has Matt Houston, Alex Van de Sant with Thomas Gessler, Shane Coogan, Tyler Coogan, all right there gapped up with each other. 0.3 of a second separate each one of these drivers, so still within striking distance should one of these drivers overstep that breaking point on the entry. There you see Alex Van de Sant on screen closing the distance on a Houston as they make their way through 3 and 4 back across the stripe to begin lap number 34 here tonight in the Milwaukee 150, presented to you by Arcis. Back markers up the raceway, just trying to keep themselves out of the way of these lead lap drivers. Matt Houston still slotted in that 4th spot. Nothing changing at the front of the field. Gavin Sanders opening up the gap just a little bit more now, upwards of 1.5 second race advantage for Sanders over Morris. Morris with about a 1.5 second advantage over DiMaggio. DiMaggio sitting there just in front of Houston, right at the 0.8 separates those two drivers. So DiMaggio very close to breaking his way out of the slipstream, out of that pullback that Houston may be able to grab from him. Houston's got to worry about Van de Sant all over him. He's still right there hounding him. And I tell you what, why don't we go down on board for a lap or two with the driver running in that 5th and final top 5 spot. Let's jump on board now with Alex Van de Sant. Battle heating up right here between these two drivers, Houston and Van de Sant, back and forth time and time again, lap after lap. Oh my goodness, big time moment there for Houston. Houston almost puts his race verse machine into that outside wall off of turn number 2. That was a very big time moment, very close moment for the driver sitting inside of that 66 machine in the fourth position. Van de Sant pushing hard, and caution has come out on the raceway. Looks like John Christensen may have had some issues. We'll take a look back here, see what happened. Don Christensen loose, trying to get to pit road, it looked like, and he's going to spin it, and hard impact with that outside wall, rear wing broken off. That is going to be a bad day for sure. We'll rejoin the race back. Ford Mustang pace car ready to duck off. Gavin Sanders going to go back to the gas. Green flag back in the air here at Milwaukee Mile. This is going to be one heck of a restart. There you see Sanders still on those older tires, Morris on older tires, Van de Sant now into that third spot. We've got drivers with old tires in your top 4 spots. And drivers with some very fresh tires, going to be very quick, as it looks like Gesser going to be under fire from Dakota Dimash. Dimash right there trying to close the distance, trying to make his way a little further up through the field. Oh, big time moment there. Up the track goes Houston. Houston up the track. That's going to open up the inside for Coogan. Shane not going to look there just yet. He'll stay slotted in line with these drivers that have all come to pit road, and it looks like those fresher tires giving Matt Houston a fit. He'll jump to the high side once again, losing some ground on Dimash. Shane Coogan stays right behind him, giving Houston enough room to regain the car, gather the car up underneath him, and keep it headed in the right direction. It has been a very close battle right here, and very close a few times to Houston tossing that thing into that outside wall. Maybe those fresh tires just not agreeing with that 66 machine just yet. Right there, Dakota Dimash sitting in that 5th spot. He's the first driver on those fresh tires, back on lap 56, coming to pit road under our latest caution. Your top 4 drivers all staying out on track. Gavin Sanders, Isaac Morris, Alex Van de Sant, and Thomas Gessler all staying out on the raceway. I wonder when those fresher tires are going to come into play. 56 lap difference on the tires. That has got to be enough to make these top 4 drivers a little bit wary, a little bit worried about their pit strategy, about the race call there to stay out on the track. But I believe most of them are banking on at least 1, possibly 2 more cautions to come here tonight at this 1 mile technical little track. You can see these drivers all over each other as Alex Van de Sant continues to try to make his way into the 2nd spot. Isaac Morris holding it down right now, but breathing down his neck all over him right now. Man, I tell you what, Van de Sant not playing around, as we'll go just to the outside of Isaac Morris's car. There you can see just over the driver's right side shoulder. Your race leader, Gavin Sanders, off in the distance. Back marker, I believe that is Gary Godso. He's going to get put down. 1 more lap here tonight. We'll jump back outside the car. There you can see Van de Sant still hounding your race leader, or 2nd place runner, Isaac Morris. More battles on track to be seen and be talked about. There you can see a battle for the 7th and 8th position on track. Shane Coogan, Tyler Coogan, they're battling for the 7th and 8th position. Luis Gonzalez Nunez not far off of them. He's got Nick DeGroot right there packed up with him as well. DeGroot looking for a spot. Dave Stedman now running in that 11th spot. First driver, last driver on the lead lap, sitting in that 11th spot. So drivers putting down a torrent pace after we had a rash of cautions very early here tonight. 3 cautions all within your first 25 laps, and that has put a lot of drivers back behind the pit wall out of tonight's race. A little bit of house cleaning for you as we inch closer to that halfway point here tonight in the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis. We started tonight with 25 drivers, and we have still got 16 out there on the raceway with just 11 drivers left on the lead lap. Dave Stedman, last driver on the lead lap, and Oscar Fredrickson going to be scored as the first driver off of the lead lap, running in that 12th spot. We'll jump now to a battle for the 8th and 9th position. That's between Luis Gonzalez Nunez and Tyler Coogan. The rookie Coogan stuck to the outside, now looks for a crossover, not going to be there, not going to have the momentum to get back and challenge Nunez to take that 8th spot back away, so we'll jump back up to this battle right there, just a little bit in front of those two drivers there. You can see Dakota DeMage, Matt Houston, and Shane Coogan still battling for the 5th, 6th, and 7th position on track. Isaac Morris has got Alex Van de Sant still breathing down his neck. That gap, half of a second separating your second and third place drivers right now as they run lap number 72. Sanders going to come to pit road. He'll give up the race lead. Isaac Morris now controls the field. Van de Sant stays on track. Thomas Gessler also still staying on track. Those three drivers yet to hit pit road for the first time. Gavin Sanders just hitting pit road for the first time that time by, and it looks like Isaac Morris may be looking for that pit road entry on the brakes, getting it woed up. He gets to pit road. Van de Sant and Gessler going to stay out on track now. There you see Gavin Sanders going down a lap, being put one lap down from Alex Van de Sant, staying on track. Thomas Gessler 3.3 seconds behind your race leader Van de Sant. When will he make his way to pit road? Will he come this time? No, gonna stay out on track and extend this run even further. How long will your race leader stay out on track, and will Thomas Gessler pit with him when he does come to pit road? Looks like staying out yet again is that 17 of Van de Sant, last week's race winner. So Van de Sant knows what he's doing as far as some calls, as far as some strategy. Can he go back-to-back race winning weekends here in Velocity Online Racing Season number 3? You are watching round number 5 here from the Milwaukee Mile, the Milwaukee 150, presented to you by Arcis. May all be a matter of fuel management here as Dakota DeMage sitting at the front of the field, driver in that 82 machine. There you see him flashing by your screen. Back down into turns 3 and 4, still able to get it to the bottom of the track through the center of 3 and 4. Fires himself back off of turn number 4, back down the front stretch. Lap number 98 now underway as DeMage has himself a 2-second race lead over this man right here, Matt Houston, running in that second spot. Shane Coogan right behind him. 1.5 seconds separates Coogan from Houston, and Nunez all over Shane Coogan, and now going to make the pass, or maybe not. I thought that was Luis Gonzalez Nunez making that pass right there. That very well may be a lap down machine. Trying to look through the timing and scoring on who that may have been. Coogan still has that third spot. Luis Gonzalez Nunez still trying to get up there and make that pass. Not able to do so just yet. Tyler Coogan sitting back in the 5th spot. Nick DeGroot sitting in 6 and 7 goes to Dave Stedman. Gavin Sanders in the 8th spot. 9th place goes to Isaac Morrison, rounding out your top 10. Formerly up inside a podium spot, Alex Van de Sant sitting last car on the lead lap, running in your 10th position. Multiple gaps all over the raceway here. Not much action to speak of except this battle right here on your screen. Shane Coogan still trying to keep Luis Nunez back behind him. Nunez still hounding him lap after lap after lap, not letting him get away. Nunez bringing his machine to pit road for what should be the final time here tonight. That's going to free up Shane Coogan to breathe a little bit easier. He now enjoys a 3.7 second advantage over Tyler Coogan, the rookie, sitting right there in that fourth spot. There you can see him piloting his 41 machine back across the stripe to begin lap number 108. Nick DeGroot not very far off. There you see that familiar yellow paint scheme piloted by DeGroot. He's going to make his way down the backstretch, try to close up the ground, try to make his way a little bit closer to a podium spot here tonight from the Milwaukee Mile field off of turn number 4. Looking at those drivers that have made those late pit stops, and it looks like Gavin Sanders now up to the 7th spot. He's got Isaac Morris, Alex Van de Sande right behind him. Gaps in between all of those drivers, respectively, what they were before the round of green flag pit stops. Luis Nunez making up some ground, though. He's able to take a spot away from Thomas Gessler as Gessler falls through the field back to the 11th spot, and now off of the lead lap. And oh my goodness, driver with some trouble. He's off of the raceway. Thomas Gessler has an issue, and that's going to bring us under caution. We'll get set to go back to green flag as your leader, Isaac Morris, staying out on the track under this latest caution, ready to fire things off, and pace car ducking off, ready to go back. Green flag racing this time by, and green flag flies as the field hits the gas, heads back into turn number 1. Dakota Dimage right there all over Van de Sande. Van de Sande struggling to get the power put down on those older tires. Van de Sande last to pit road on lap number 84. Field stacked up behind him, all last to pit road under that last caution on lap 111. Now side by side, Gavin Sanders looks to the inside of Dimage. Dimage going to fall as he's almost 3 wide as they work their way through turn number 2. 3 wide. Houston didn't work at the top. Now DeGroot looks for a spot on the bottom. Sanders going to put himself back into a podium spot, but digging once again back to his inside. Dakota Dimage trying to make that inside lane work. Your top 2 drivers scooting away from the field on those older tires. Isaac Morris and Alex Van de Sande running first and second. Three-car battle now. DeGroot, Sanders, Houston as they make their way off of turn number 4. Sanders now slotting into that 4th spot. He's looking to improve, looking to run down Dakota Dimage, your highest running driver with the fresh tires, running into that 3rd spot, but the top 2 have stepped away just a little bit from the field. Will rejoin the battle at the front as it is getting hot and heavy. Tell you what, race fans, we'll go ahead and throw up some of your battle information as they run now nose to tail. First, second, third, all on track, all creeping up on each other. There you can see that battle for that top spot. Just a few tenths of a second separate Van de Sande from Morris and Dimage from Van de Sande. Caution flag flies. Shane Coogan involved. Oh my goodness, let's look back here, see what happened to this 29 machine. There you see him sitting into that outside wall. We'll take a look now, see what happened on the replay. Oh, there you see the car just didn't turn on the corner exit on the gas, and green flag flies. So once again here from Milwaukee, as your race leader gets off to a good start. Isaac Morris making those older tires work, but he's got Dakota Dimage with some fresh tires right there, making his way to the inside of Van de Sande. Gavin Sanders right there with those fresh tires as well. Van de Sande now falling victim to those fresh tires. Van de Sande gonna drop from that 2nd spot now to 3rd, all the way back to 4th, as Sanders looks to make a move on the inside of 1. Side by side through 1 and 2. Nick DeGroot now on the bottom. 3 wide. Drag race down the backstretch. Nick DeGroot gonna pull behind. He'll line up just behind Van de Sande as they enter turn number 3. My goodness, getting racy up here at the front. 2 and 3 wide for the third spot. Gavin Sanders, Alex Van de Sant, Nick de Groot battling for position on track, battling for that last spot inside the podium, making their way now down the backstretch. Just 22 laps remain here tonight in the Milwaukee 150. Battle still raging on. 2 and 3 wide. Nick de Groot looking for some clean air, looking for a way around. Sanders pushing the envelope. Is he gonna get the spot? Gonna work his way off a 2 down the backstretch? No, still side by side. Van de Sant holding him off with them older tires. Now a run from de Groot on the bottom. 3 wide down the front stretch. De Groot to the inside, gonna give way. Sanders gonna take that spot. Still battle with Van de Sant for that third spot. Tyler Coogan right here in the mix. Dave Stedman starting to poke his head into this battle as well. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all lined up on track, all battling for a spot. Man, what a close battle right here. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all slotted nose to tail. Just a few tenths separating each and every one of these drivers, while up at the front, making those old tires work. Isaac Morris continues to lead Dakota Dimage. About 31 lap difference on those tires, and Dimage cannot close the gap. He cannot get to the back end of Isaac Morris, just not able to get up on the gearbox and pressure Morris into a mistake. Van de Sant now pulling back around Sanders, looking to settle back down. We'll jump to the battle at the front of the field. There you can see it right there as Isaac Morris makes his way off of turn number 4. Here comes Dimage. As we watch this battle, back to this battle one more time. Nick de Groot makes his way by Gavin Sanders, your pole sitter, early race leader, dominating early here tonight, leading over half of the laps in tonight's Milwaukee 150. Now stuck back in traffic, mired, not being able to make his way through the dirty air. Gavin Sanders losing some time. He's watching his chance at the race win walk away from him late in the going. Nick de Groot now looking for a spot on Van de Sant. He'll look to the bottom in 3 and 4. Gets a good run through the center. De Groot goes to the 3rd spot. Big run by Sanders. He's going to be all over Van de Sant once again. Down into turn 1. They'll pull even side by side through the center. Advantage goes to Sanders, but Van de Sant fighting back hard on that outside drag race down the backstretch. Sanders not able to take that spot just yet. Works his way through the center. Now finally making that pass. Put Sanders up into the 4th spot, but the damage may have already been done. Nick de Groot has opened up an 0.8 of a second advantage over Sanders. Luis Gonzalez Nunez fighting for a spot inside the top 5 late in the going. Just 13 laps remaining here tonight as the leader makes his way back off of turn number 4 to take just 12 laps remaining here tonight in the Milwaukee 150, presented by Arcis. Van de Sant still trying to keep these fresh tires behind him. Nunez all over him, though. I think he's going to fall victim to that one here very shortly. We'll jump back as we do have a battle at the front. Here it is. Look at this lap traffic coming into play. Isaac Morris ducks to the inside. Dimage right there. Nick de Groot closing in as well. We're going to have ourselves a 3-car battle once again for the race lead. 1 driver on old tires, 2 drivers on freshies. What will Morris do? He's got Dimage breathing down his neck. He's also got Nick de Groot right there as well. Gotta be careful, gotta tiptoe, but gotta bring it home as well. Morris continues the lead by 0.2 of a second out of turn number 2. Damage looks to the inside, blocking DeGroot. DeGroot with a run. Big block by Damage on Nick DeGroot. Now making their way by the lap marker. Concha gonna drop through the field here. Your race leader has a little bit of an advantage in Dakota Damage, able to take that top spot away. Isaac Morris now back in second, and he's got Nick DeGroot all over him. Did Damage make the move of the race? Coming to take 9 laps to go. At the front of the field now, leading tonight's race, Dakota Damage with the big run to that top spot. There you see Nick DeGroot trying to make that outside lane work. Gavin Sanders coming back into play. Battle for the second spot on the raceway. Nick DeGroot, Isaac Morris, and Gavin Sanders all nose to tail, all within a few tenths of each other. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to have anything for the man at the front of the field right now. Dakota Damage walking away with the win right now. Walking away from the field, I should say. 0.7 of a second separate Damage from DeGroot. DeGroot beginning to walk away from Morris. Morris in a close battle here with Gavin Sanders. Alex Van de Sant not too far off, but he's still having to deal with Luis Gonzalez Nunez. As your third and fourth place drivers make their way around one of the back markers, Isaac Morris continues to try to keep that third spot away from Gavin Sanders. And Morris staying out on those old tires, and it looks like that strategy just not paying off. Now going to duck to the inside. Make Sanders go the long way around. That is some smart racing last time by. High five for your race leader, Dakota Damage. Flagman giving him the 5 to go symbol here from the Milwaukee Mile. Close right here between Sanders and Morris. Sanders and Morris all over each other. That last time by, Morris still right there hounding Sanders, but not able to do anything with him. There you can see the battle for that third spot between Morris and Sanders, and now Morris gonna take that spot away. A little bit of smoke out in front of him, but Sanders, I apologize, I thought that was Sanders on the bottom. Morris still keeping that third spot, forcing Gavin Sanders to that outside, that long way around, and you have got to keep the momentum up. You have got to keep the power down. Slowly but surely starting to prevail now for Gavin Sanders, and now just like that, you can see him pull even once again. 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks for your race leader at the front of the field. Dakota Damage will jump back up here with Damage as he's got just these final 2 laps remaining. And look at this, it's a battle for the race lead. Nick DeGroot has closed in under a half a second. Separate your top 2 drivers making their way off of turn number 4. White flag in the air. Final lap here tonight from the Milwaukee Mile and the Milwaukee 150 presented by Arcis. Off of turn number 2 down the backstretch for the final time into turn 3. Nick DeGroot close but not gonna get there. Dakota Damage gonna walk away with the race win here tonight from the Milwaukee Mile, your race winner. Big move at the end of tonight's race. There you can see him right there, man on screen. The 82 of Dakota Damage walking away with the race win. Driver in that 82 machine, Dakota Damage. Big run to the end, not quite able to get there. Needed a few more laps. The 89 of Nick DeGroot walking away with a great podium finish here in the second spot. And rounding out your top 3 tonight, the 90, your pole sitter, Gavin Sanders. Alex Van de Sant gonna walk away in the 4th spot. Tyler Coogan home in 5th. 6th place goes to Dave Stedman, while Matt Houston slots home in the 7th spot. Last car on the lead lap, Isaac Morris going to fall off of the lead lap. Gonna score the first car. Scored the first car off of the lead lap back in the 8th spot. Luis Gonzalez Nunez, after qualifying outside pole position, falls through the race here tonight, back to that 9th spot. Rounding out your top 10 here tonight, the 18 of Thomas Gessler.